Welcome to Revelation, Sodot, chapter 6, verses 1 and 2. So let's just read these two verses and see what it's plainly saying before we compare with other verses from the Bible. Then I saw that the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard the four living creatures say, like one voice, "Come and see." Then I saw a white horse, and he who sat on it had a bow in his hand, and a crown was given to him, and he went to overcome, and he overcame. So he's opening one of the seals. This is kind of like where it says in creation, day 1. So there could have been like another day ahead of that. It's not saying just interesting. It's not saying it's the first seal, but we do already know that this scroll is sealed with 7 seals, sealed with seals on the outside and on the inside with 7 seals. And so it's just not specifying which one he's opening or which living creature is speaking. After this, we see it's the second seal that is opened and the second living creature saying. So in regard to the 4 living creatures, they seem united with this lamb, with the regards to the seal, the horse, the rider, that there is unity. And we can note with Babylon, the statue, the head of gold, that was a more unified, a stronger kingdom. And so with Judah, when David was reigning, when Solomon was reigning, it was a unified kingdom. So we're noting here that they're speaking like one voice. It's not just one creature. They're saying this in unison, and they're saying, "Come and see." So it could be a different time frame, a different place than where they are at. It says, "Come up here to this now," for chapters 4 and 5. So he's opening the seal in that instance, but the creatures need to teleport him, take him each time for each one of these horses to go somewhere, come and see, have his eyes opened to be able to see. So it could be a different time that they are taking him to. This one, it doesn't specify earth. The second one is take peace from the earth. But we can learn from this second one, if they're taking peace from the earth, that before this there was some level of peace on the earth. So it's not that this one is coming to bring war. So this reminds us when Messiah sends his disciples, he says, "Take your peace to it." He, like, peace on earth is what it said about Messiah, but then it also says, "Don't come to think that I have come to bring peace." So when the disciples who were going town to town and they pronounced peace over the city, but they weren't received, then he's saying for that city it'd be worse than for Sodom and Gomorrah. So we kind of see an opposite here, where this first horseman is uniting. You can see people, the creatures, in agreement, and he's conquered. He's overcome. But now you see like the reverse with this second horse, where now peace is taken away from the earth and he's given a great sword. So a white horse, and he has a bow. So we can look and see what bow is referring to, what prophecy this is pointing to. But from our passage, we can see a crown was given to him. So this is not something he already had. And so in our previous chapter, the 24 elders cast their crowns before the throne, And it doesn't ever say what happened to this, but it was a singular crown when it was on their head. And so this horse rider, in context, you could make the connection that he has received this crown because a crown is given to him, and he went to overcome and he overcame. So let's take a look at any parallel passages we can find. Previously, we studied that the standard for Judah would be white if we're tying this in with the first horseman. And the standard for Ephraim on the west, Judah on the east, Ephraim would be red, like the red calf symbol. So keep that in mind. Zechariah 9, rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, your king is coming to you. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding on a donkey, a colt, the foal of a donkey. I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim and the horse from Jerusalem. Ephraim refers to Israel in the north, or the 10 tribes. Jerusalem would refer to Judah. The battle bow shall be cut off. He shall speak peace to the nations. His dominion shall be from sea to sea and from the river to the ends of the earth. And so Nebuchadnezzar, who parallels this reign of Judah, of like the united kingdom, is said of him in Daniel that his reign was over all the earth, that he'd have like all the dominion. As for you also, because of the blood of your covenant, I will set your prisoners free from the waterless pit. Return to the stronghold, you prisoners of hope. Even today I declare that I will restore double to you. For I have bent Judah my bow. So this is what he has, and it makes sense. If he is Judah, he's the king from Judah. He already has this authority. He has this bow. And also we noted that around the throne, the glory of God was described as a bow. So this is like a symbol that points us to Messiah, since Messiah is supposed to be the glory of the only begotten of the Father. Fitted the bow with Ephraim. So he has Judah, and what he's sending out, he's filling his bow, Judah, with Ephraim, the 10 tribes. So he's sending them back home to Zion. And raised up your sons, O Zion. He's also giving them the power to defeat the heavenly Babylon, Jerusalem. Against your sons, O Greece. Greece is here, it's not actually Greece, right? It is Yavon, which is one of the sons of Noah. This is the account of Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, who also had sons at the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madi, Yavin. This is the son that they're defeated, but Daniel says this Yavin, not necessarily Greece, that's how we understand it today. So wherever they settle, this son of Japheth, this third kingdom of Greece is what they defeat. So I understand that like the fourth kingdom is kind of like a combination, maybe, because we have Babylon being mentioned, which is the first kingdom. So it's like this intermarriage, maybe. the fourth kingdom can kind of be like a version of the third kingdom, maybe. So going back, and made you like the sword of a mighty man. All right, so what the second horseman is given is he's given a sword. So Ephraim is the arrows that are being sent out in order to defeat Greece, and they are made into a sword. So the second horseman being introduced by the second living creature, which is a calf, which is the emblem of Ephraim. Then Hashem will be seen over them, and his arrow will go forth like lightning, the 10 tribes, the 10 horns. The Lord Hashem will blow the trumpet. Okay, so pointing us to the trumpet sounding, which ties us in with a rapture, which ties us in with the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah, or Feast of Trumpets. So his arrows will go forth like lightning. The Lord Hashem will blow the trumpet and go with whirlwinds from the south, and Hashem of hosts will defend them. They shall devour and subdue with sling stones. They shall drink and roar as if with wine. A lion picture, David and the giant picture. They shall be filled with blood like basins, like the corners of the altar. A great sacrifice after he's soaked his sword in the heavens. He's coming down over Edom. Hashem, their God, will save them that day as the flock of his people, for they shall be like the jewels of a crown. Another connection with the first horseman. What crown is he given? He's given his people. This is his reward, his glory. Lifted like a banner over his land, for how great is its goodness and how great its beauty. So it's not like 10 crowns, even if it's 10 kings. It's one united crown. So showing unity. Grain shall make the young men thrive, and new wine the young woman. So Daniel, or Revelation 12, this is where I understand he got the victory. This is clearly when things begin. You have this imagery of the virgin giving birth. So it's taken us up to the sixth trumpet. The sixth trumpet has sounded, and now he's gone back. In fact, in Revelation 12, he's gone back to the very beginning when the clock started ticking to let us know kind of how we got here. So here we have this glimpse into the first horseman, where he gets the victory, but we also see in Revelation 17 that these 10 horns, they do unite with the beast, but I think it might be like in between the bowls where they actually unite. The wording here makes it sound like they unite, but it also says they only have power and authority as for 1 hour as kings, along with the beast. So this beast looks just like the dragon in Revelation 12 that just getting defeated. But the ones defeating the dragon, apparently, along with the harlot, is this beast. So they're, you could think of them as like Ephraim, right? And so they get the victory. They hate their own mother, the heavenly Jerusalem, and destroy her. She gets hurled down to earth like a millstone, as I understand it. So this beast, just like Nebuchadnezzar, gets the victory, declares Hashem to be the one true God. Very good. Nothing wrong with the Antichrist, except in the end, he declares himself to be God. So only at the very end. And so I'm thinking it's during the bowls where they get possessed and unite with the dragon, because that's where the spirits go out to call the kings of the earth to unite them in battle. But like, we can take a closer look at that when we get here. The point being that these 10 horns, along with the beast, defeat the dragon. So this makes them look like Messiah, right? And people can laud them as such. And they're like, oh, you're qualified, you're from Israel or whatever, and they've defeated the dragon. But it's like the dragon arrives on Earth and the beast arrives on Earth, and they're both going to end up teaming up together. So they come having battled against each other in this civil war, but when they get to Earth, they'll actually unite together. So it's not like you have to pick one or the other, like one of them's going to be Messiah and the other one's going to be the devil. They'll both end up uniting together. So just keep in mind that even with the statue of Nebuchadnezzar representing everybody in the kingdom, it's mingled, but they can't even adhere to each other. This seed gets mingled, so they can be called the sons of Satan, and even the sons of Satan can be transformed into light. But Jerusalem is also going to be the virgin, so from Ephraim is going to come like these 10 horns. They can be with the beast, but then we also have the 144,000 who are all virgins. So the iron and the clay, they mingle as if with intermarriage, but it can't stick because they're foreign to each other. It doesn't actually mix. So it's the word for seed as if there's intermarriages. But I guess like if you get Lucifer in you, then like it can't actually modify your DNA unless you belong to that kingdom. Whatever kingdom you're in, you can't actually mix with the other kingdom no matter what happens. Verse 1. Wera'ithi, and I saw Shehaseh, which the lamb, Pesach, open, Ehad, one, Mehatimoth, from seals, one of seals, Weshemathi, and which I heard, Sheharba, which the 4 Hayoth, lives, Omarim, says, Kekol, like voice, Ehad, one, like one voice, Vo, come, we Ra'ah, and see. Wera'ithi, and I saw, Sus, horse, Ehad, one, Lavan, white, Yoshav, and the sit, Ngalau, upon him, Haya, existed, Beyado, in hand of him, Keshet, bow, Ehad, one, Lo, and to him, Nothan, given, Keter, crown, Ehad, one, Who, and he, Halak, walk, like he went, Lenetzach, to overcome, Natzach, and he overcame. The mystery of Messiah was sealed up, and this is what was revealed to us in the New Testament. What we're learning in Revelation that was sealed up until Yahushua gave John the revelation, the secrets, was the 7-branch candlestick with the 7 messengers that went with it, as well as the harlot that sits on the 7 hills. So we already have one opening in the heavens. So one of our speculations was that the scroll could be the heavens, our access to the heavens that is sealed. So right now we have one opening. So the world to come could have been the actual first day, Genesis 1:1, when everything is perfect. And then day 1, which is not really the first day, is just the first of the 6 days. So the perfect day, like the 8th day, that was how creation started and was when everything was one. Genesis 1:1 has 7 words, I believe, in the Hebrew. So 7, but all united. So of the beast or dragon, it says like he's of the 7, like the one that comes up from it. So it's just like Yehoshua in the midst of the 7 candlesticks. He's of the 7. So he's the opening, the door in the heavens. And when we have our chapter here, there is, you'd say, one opening, or he opens one seal. So of the 7 churches, it's like a way for them to enter, to help them overcome. Because of the Lamb, it says that he's overcome death. So he has an opening in the heavens that John goes through. But then the 7 churches, they all need to overcome. So he's like unsealing his bride, revealing to his bride who she is and how she needs to overcome, perhaps. So anyway, we have, you could either say one opening, but I think actually it says one, he opens one of seals. If it's in construct, if it's being used more like a noun, that's how he translates it. And we have one voice, because if it's actually an adjective, the one comes after the word it's modifying. We have one horse, and we have one bow. So Judah is united. We have one crown. And then when we get to the other horses, it doesn't say a second horse, a third horse, or a fourth horse. It does talk about the creatures as second, third, and fourth. So I don't know if it's like there's not supposed to be a certain order, or when it's saying one, that at least their purpose is united. Because didn't it talk about the beast or the 10 kings that they had one purpose to unite with the beast? So they're at least united, perhaps, in their purpose. The 24 elders, if they represent the 12 tribes as well as the 12 disciples, then they're all recognizing him as the king. So he's made them kings and priests, but they give all their authority. So they're also united in purpose, just like the kings give all their authority to the beast, and also the beast gives them his throne. So I guess they're just sharing it together. So these are all giving him the rulership and the authority. So recognizing him as this king. He's coming now to rule as Messiah, son of David. The one who plants and the one who waters have one purpose, and they will each be rewarded according to their own labor. So anything kind of done in unity, it has power in it, to the point where God said about the Tower of Babel, they have one language and one purpose, right? And so nothing they desire to do will be withheld from them because of that power of unity. And that's really big push today. Like anybody who opposes this system, they need to be silenced, they need to be put down, because the enemy knows the power of unity. So with Babel, God had to bring division with different languages in order to cause them to scatter. So with Revelation 17, the kings have one purpose. So they're united, but also with this new covenant. And I will give them one heart and one purpose. The wording here in the Hebrew is one way. I am the way, the truth, and the life. So it's Messiah that unites us. He says there is no other way. So he's the leader. There's nobody else who is pure like this to show us exactly who God is. So a lot of changes here. This can make it more vague, like did he actually win? And we're adding that we have a voice like thunder. Let's just read it. Aleph we ara, and I saw Hase the lamb poteach, open, ehaz, one min from Shiv'ah, 7, ha-hol thamoth, the seals, wa-ashema, and I heard, ahas, 1, me arba, from 4, ha-hayoth, the lives, me the bereth, speaking, except they're using the word daber, which can also mean like matter. We kolo, and voice, ke kol, like voice, ra ngam, le more, to say. I guess this is a word for thunder. So instead of a united voice, it's just one of the 4 living creatures, and this one has a voice like thunder. Bo, come, we ra'e, and see. You have 2 goats that look identical. How will you tell which one is to Hashem and which one is to Azazel? Will you recognize your Messiah when you see him? That's all for today. Thanks so much for joining, and Hashem bless you.